Okay. So it's the 19th of May, 2026. Haven't made a video in a while. Yeah, I haven't. I just got distracted with, the war in Iran. When that started, I like totally got obsessed with it for like 6 weeks or however long it went. So I just got totally like so like consumed and obsessed with that whole thing. It was like it was very shocking and because things were happening so fast and it was like a crisis of is this the apocalypse? it's the, is this the it was really insane short kind of war. It was just anyway. It took me off into this kind of a detour, and it took me a while to come off of that kind of intense kind of situation. It was like took me weeks to come off of that. Uh, yeah, that was just really, really insane. Wars are like create a crisis of like I don't know, something like a psychic kind of crisis. It's like, oh my goodness, that was that was a very intense kind of situation. For me, it was anyway. Anyway, so yeah, and I've been trying to just do things, try to recover from that whole situation. Uh, Trying to, I've been trying to do my chores and I've sort of got into some kind of a routine of doing my chores and eating properly, so that helps. And I have to deal with all the existential problems about who am I, why I'm here, what's the point of all of this. I hate this. I hate. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I am kind of isolated, and I was watching this video, and they're talking about voice to skull technology and how they've got all these technologies to make people go crazy and isolate themselves. And I wonder if there's some kind of a force. I'm not saying it's the government, but I wonder if there's some kind of a force in reality that's sort of affecting us and like causing us to do things because it has an agenda, and its agenda might not be like, what if there are like these forces of good and evil and they're like trying to influence our thoughts and perceptions and actions, and is there some kind of a force kind of pushing me to isolate myself? Because I just can't stand being around people. I just get so triggered around people. I just can't seem to interact with people without getting triggered. Maybe it's a lot of trauma or life experience or something. I don't know. But I was watching this video. It was interesting. It was like well, maybe I'll link the video. I haven't finished watching it, but there was I mean, the first part of the video, they were having streaming issues, so you might need to skip the first, I don't know how long, 10, 12, 15 minutes. How they were having streaming issues. I haven't finished watching it, but it was very interesting. It's like, about gang stalking and things like that. Anyways, but even leaving that aside, I wonder if there is some kind of a spiritual kind of dimension to like, why has my life gone the way it has gone, where I've taken such unconventional routes? Are there like these other forces out there, pushing me in some kind of direction? And is my direction for the good or for the evil? I don't know. I don't know which is winning. I feel like there's something like a constant battle, and you just have to notice, like, I think the it's this synchronicity in it. And I am talking about number 42, and here I'm seeing this video about this guy was this UFO contact. He was talking about the 42, and I started, oh, that's 42. Maybe I should watch that. Maybe that video has something to teach me. And they were talking about this game called Halo, and I played Halo. I loved that game when I was younger. I used to play with my brother. Uh, 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 I haven't finished. I just started watching this video, so but so there are these synchronicities. It's like if you sit down and pay attention, right, you can connect dots. And maybe those dots might not mean anything to anyone else, but to you, those dots might mean something. Because, here, 42, I've been thinking about 42. Halo, a game I've played, and I love that game. I've played it so many times. And then, is there a message for me? So yeah, I think if you were to just sit down and pay attention, you might, because most of the time we are so distracted and thinking about our own lives and stuff like that. But maybe the universe is trying to teach me something, or tell me. And there are these good forces and evil forces, and maybe it's not really about me. It's about them. They are fighting with each other, and they're trying to influence us to achieve their ends. And maybe we are part of that. Maybe a part of me is in that realm. I don't know. I mean, I'm just speculating here. So, they're doing the UFO thing, the war.gov/UFO, and, you know, that whole thing is like, I get so emotionally upset and triggered by that whole thing because I'm like, oh, please do disclosure. And then you always get like, oh, it's not happening. Always there's a setback. It's like an emotional roller coaster ride. And I have to like, I get so like emotionally upset by that whole process. Like, oh, are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? No, then it's not going to happen. But then I was thinking, even if disclosure does happen, it's like I'm sort of like at a point, I'm getting to a point where like, yeah, okay, aliens are, these non-human, they exist, yes. They might even be an ET war going on, I don't know. But it's almost like, yeah, okay, so what now? I still have to deal with my life. I have to deal with getting up, doing my chores, and then, it's like, I don't know. Life is a struggle. So yeah, I'm just trying to do things, and well, I hope the disclosure happens. I hope truly. If you want to convince people of the reality of the UFO phenomenon, you have to bring out the craft and the bodies. Because even then, I don't know if people will believe, because they'll say, "Oh, the government's lying." So, but I think if you bring out the craft and the bodies, I think you will get some tangible acknowledgement that people will like, "Oh my God, this is actually real." Because a lot of now we're seeing videos of these objects. We don't know. I mean, that's just interesting, but it's not going to really convince people. If you want to get people to get really interested, you have to bring out the craft and the bodies and say, "Yes, this is real. We have these things." And then you might gain some traction, I think. Well, we'll see how it goes anyway.